From the Samson Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Brought to you by SSPTV and the Standard Speaker.
A little girl who struggled for her life since she was pulled from her burning home died today at the Lehigh Valley Hospital. The tragic fire in McAdoo. Our top story on News 13 for this Monday. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kathy Baczynski. 7-year-old Madison Arner was barely alive when she was pulled from her burning home. Today, the little girl was taken off life support and passed away. Christina Papa with more on the fire and a community filled with shock and grief.
Teddy bears line the front door of this home on Kennedy Street in McAdoo. They're in memory of 7-year-old Madison Arner, who died this morning at Lehigh Valley Hospital. It's just 2 days after she was pulled from the smoky blaze at her home. Madison and her family were inside their home when an electrical fire began with a dryer in the back kitchen around 11:30 on Saturday night.
First I heard screaming and then breaking glass, and then I looked out the window and I saw them breaking the glass on the top and with like a broom or something, and then they threw the ladder up and they started going in.
Madison's mother, 45-year-old Lorraine Searfoss, sister Savannah Searfoss, and 21-year-old Dylan Danko were pulled out first.
In that rescue process, we also then had members find a juvenile female unconscious in a second-floor bedroom. She was also then rescued out of the second-floor window and at that point was resuscitated in the street.
The house is just across the street from McAdoo's fire department. Chief Bob Leshko was at the firehouse when he noticed the blaze.
It was very lucky for the family that it was so close. The unfortunate piece is they only had one working smoke detector in the home, which was on the first floor and the furthest room away from the fire.
Early Monday, Madison's father posted on Facebook stating that Madison had passed away. Friends of the family say she was taken off life support, that she wasn't strong enough to win her battle. Savannah Searfoss, Madison's sister, has since been released from the hospital. She and her mom will need support from the community to get back on their feet.
Support from the community is flowing in, and kids Maddie and Savannah's age are helping out. These little girls behind me have set up a lemonade stand, and all the proceeds are going to go straight to the family.
Now fundraisers are popping up all around McAdoo.
So I can't do enough to help them. We're having a basket raffle at Wes's Health Foods and Barely Used Kid Stuff in McAdoo this Thursday and Friday. But if anybody wants to donate anything for it, we're taking donations Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
The McAdoo Fire Company has also set up a fund drive, and donations can be sent to the address at the bottom of your screen. Christina Papa, News 13, McAdoo.
The Berwick woman convicted of the arson at the Lantern Lane complex in Cunningham could spend up to 28 years in a state prison. 44-year-old Gail Schneider was convicted of the arson that destroyed the building and endangered the lives of 2 residents in their 90s. A judge has now ruled that Schneider will serve 14 to 28 years in prison on the conviction. Prosecutors say that Schneider set the blaze as revenge for being evicted from the property for scratching the word "die" on a neighbor's door. Schneider was sentenced on 5 counts of arson, 1 count each of reckless burning and criminal mischief. A Drums man was killed. 2 teenagers were injured after a violent crash in the St. John section of Butler Township late Saturday night. Police say 41-year-old Raymond Schermerhorn was pronounced dead at the crash site on Old Airport Road just after 11:15 Saturday night. They say he was driving along the road with his 14-year-old son and 2 of his son's friends when the car left the road, struck an embankment, and landed on its side. 2 of the teens were injured. One was flown to Geisinger, Wyoming Valley. The other rushed to Hazleton General Hospital. The third teen wasn't hurt. Investigators still trying to figure out how the fatal crash occurred. Well, dozens of folks hit the road over the weekend in support of a little girl who passed away after a grueling battle with cancer. On Saturday, people from all over the area came out for a bike run in memory of Adriana Bartol, who lost her battle with cancer not very long ago. Along with the bike run, there was also the official dedication of the butterfly garden created in her honor at the Helping Hands Society, where Adriana attended school. The little girl wanted a place where people could go and enjoy the memories that they had with her and not be sad and mourn her. Now, this bike run helped raise money to help create a foundation in Adriana's name, which is going to help support children who must struggle with debilitating diseases.
We're raising money to start a foundation in her name to help children from the age of 0 to 21 with any type of chronic/terminal debilitating illness, not just cancer, because along the way we met so many kids who were sick.
The Bartol family says it appreciates all the support the community has been providing and knows that Adriana is not going to be forgotten. Another fundraiser over this weekend, one hoping for miracles for a local woman fighting a devastating disease. A special dinner was held to raise money for Melanie Cole and her family. Melanie was recently diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and people from all over the area came out to Cunningham to provide support for her in the difficult battle she's fighting. Along with some chicken and stuffing, there were also sweet treats available for everybody who came. Now, Melanie's family is very grateful for all the support that they've been receiving, and were amazed by how many people came out for the event.
It has been wonderful. The friends, our family, so many people have come, people that we don't even know. Her friends from school, people from the church here. It's just been amazing.
Now, if you couldn't make it to the fundraiser but would like to make a donation to help cover Melanie's medical expenses, you can do so by visiting Miracles for Melanie on Facebook. Even more people from Greater Hazleton came out to help this weekend, this time for a 2-year-old boy. Stephanie Gorney with more on the bike run for Grayson.
From the outside, 2-year-old Grayson Williams seems like a normal toddler enjoying the summer sun. But on the inside, Grayson is fighting a tough battle with leukemia that he was surprisingly diagnosed with back in November.
It started with a bump on his head that he had from about the time he was 1, that it just grew over time. Not a normal sign of leukemia. In November of 2012, it changed color and hair fell out of it, and that's when the doctor had, sent us to to see a specialist.
It was all thanks to that bump that they discovered that Grayson had cancer, or else they may have found it when it was too late. This little boy may be fighting a big battle, but he is not doing it alone. He had help from many bikers on Saturday who wanted to help him get rid of this cancer.
Now we're having a big bike run. We have bands, music. We have the whole 9 yards here. We're going to have a bike wash in a couple minutes. When people are in financial trouble, we always like to get the community involved, and it's just not a bike event. It's for everybody. So we hope everybody does come out and help us out and donate money, and so we can get to the next level with this thing.
The Williams family was overwhelmed with all the support that Grayson has been receiving, and are gracious for everyone who is helping them along this difficult time.
It's absolutely overwhelming. I mean, we've been devastated and then overwhelmed time and time again because we see the support that we're surrounded with, and it is absolutely amazing. We can't thank the community enough, all the volunteers, all the participants. It's really wonderful.
Grayson has been doing good through all of this, and although there may be some hard times ahead for the Williams family, they are going to continue to stay strong.
He's doing really well. The treatment is working. April 11th marked the timeline. We have 3 years of treatment to go from April 11th, so as long as we keep moving forward, we'll do good.
Stephanie Gorney, News 13, Drums.
And still ahead on News 13, welcome to Florida. And that's exactly how it's going to feel all this week. We'll tell you about it in News 13 weather. But first, they say it's the beginning of the end for all the construction along the Broad Street corridor. We'll tell you how long we'll still be inconvenienced just ahead on News 13. Well, with all the construction, getting around Broad Street in Hazleton has been a challenge for a while now, but there's good news. Phase 1 should be completed next week. But as Matthew Petrillo tells us, the entire project won't be completed in time for Fun Fest.
Cars have been zigzagging through construction cones, bumping over potholes, and snarling up in traffic and detours for months. And while drivers will soon breathe a heavy sigh of relief to know construction is nearing the beginning of the end, sprucing up downtown Hazleton didn't come without a toll. The construction hurts some businesses, like Carmen's Bakery and Deli.
And our business is off, at least by a third.
Because of the construction?
Because of the construction.
The construction is about a month behind, and there have been some problems along the way. Crews initially purchased the wrong sand for topsoil, and the suppliers and contractors haven't always been responsive. But while most of Broad Street is still sprinkled with cones and new lights are still wrapped up, neighbors are hopeful, saying they want the revitalization to breathe new life back into Hazleton.
I think it's going to be all well worth it when it's all finished.
I think it's pretty neat, to be honest with you. it's starting to look like Hazelton. It's starting to get clean.
Now, PennDOT says they're about 50 to 60% completed, and the entire project will be finished around Thanksgiving. But that means there'll still be construction during FunFest. Still, crews are making progress. The curbing and sidewalk work is ahead of schedule, and the end result is starting to show.
I think that there's going to be a lot of small shops, and I think that they're going to do well. Because I think the town is going to be really, really nice. Trees and new sidewalks, everything cleaned up. I envision downtown Hazleton similar to what downtown Strasburg looks like right now. Small coin stores.
Hazleton has recently seen some hard times, but it could very well have a bright future ahead, especially after the construction finishes. Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Hazleton.
And time now for our regional weather from the National Weather Service. Checking the radar. It's kind of going to be like living in Florida the next couple of days. It'll be hazy, it'll be hot, it'll be humid, and that means always a chance, as you see right there, for pop-up thunderstorms and showers pretty much every day, pretty much every afternoon. That's what we're going to expect almost every afternoon this week. Creative Condition is nothing but sunshine and bright colors. It's by Lauren Thomas, a student at Valley Elementary, and she drew a picture of her bright pink home with some definitely Technicolor trees there. Now let's take a look at News 13 weather from the National Weather Service for Greater Hazleton for tonight. Scattered showers and thunderstorms right throughout the early evening, and then mostly cloudy with the low only getting down to 66 degrees. And for tomorrow, partly sunny, scattered showers and thunderstorms again all the way through the afternoon. High getting up to 85 degrees. Those scattered showers and thunderstorms continue right through the evening, and then some isolated showers even in the overnight. A warm low of 67 degrees. Heading to Schuylkill County for tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely right through till midnight with a low around 64. And for Tuesday, partly sunny with a chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, high up to 87 degrees. That chance of showers and thunderstorms continues at night with the low getting down to 67. And let's check the winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you play. The daily 478, the big 4 5096, Quinto 68223, and the treasure hunt 7, 13, 20, 22, 28. Hope you won.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's social news. First tonight, happy 40th birthday to Bob Reimold Jr. This wish comes with love from your family and friends. Also tonight, happy 40th birthday to Carolyn McKirschner. This wish comes with love from mom and family. Tonight's Talk of the Town report, Power Hazleton is celebrating the beginning of summer on Thursday, June 27th from 5:30 to 7:30 at Cousin Joe's Place in Cunningham. Enjoy a free backyard barbecue with hamburgers and hot dogs and learn about Power and upcoming projects you can get involved with. And finally tonight, one final announcement, the Penn Rod and Gun Club will be hosting a bus trip to see the Chicago White Sox versus the Philadelphia Phillies Saturday, July 13th. Game time is 4:05 p.m. and the seats are in section 421 directly behind home plate. For more information, please call 570-956-3645. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Virginia M. Tucker of Hazleton. Funeral will be held Wednesday at 10 a.m. in the Holy Rosary Church. Friends may call Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Firo Funeral Home. Anna Ann O'Lear, formerly of Cunningham. Arrangements will be announced by the John J. Pustei Funeral Home. Antoinette Polishok of Fern Glen. Funeral is Wednesday at 10 a.m. in the Harmon Funeral Home. Friends may call Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Julia T. Chetkavich, formerly of Shenandoah. The Lukovitz-Orovitsfeld Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. George N. Lesho of Whitehaven. Funeral is Wednesday at 9:15 a.m. from the McHugh-Wilczek Funeral Home. Friends may call Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Christine L. Schultz of Hazleton. Memorial is Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. at the John J. Pustei Funeral Home. Marie C. Gallagher of Freeland. Memorial was held today at 10 a.m. in the Our Lady of Immaculate Conception Parish at St. Anne's Church. The McNulty Funeral Home was in charge of arrangements. And John A. Fedor of Boyertown. Mass will be held Wednesday at 10 a.m. in the Immaculate Conception Parish at St. Anne's Church. The McHugh-Wilczek Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazleton. For delivery to all local funeral homes, call 570-454-0111. And by Mia's. Once again, the Hazleton area's #1 rated restaurant. Call 570-501-3410 for information on luncheon packages.
SSPTV Sports on News 13 with Fred Barletta Jr. and Ron Marchetti.
Well, we'd let you in on a little bit of a secret going into the weekend that Russ Kanzler usually plays very well when he comes home to PNC Park up in Moosic. Gets to sleep in his own bed right in the Cunningham Valley and go up and play some baseball, and I guess he likes the home cooking. True again this weekend in the 4-game set. Even though he got off to a little bit of a slow start on Friday night, the overall numbers for the weekend, well, welcome home again one more time. Kanzler knocked in 4 runs, had 7 hits in 16 at-bats, and out of those 7 hits, 4 of them were for extra bases, including a long home run. And he just missed another one. One of the doubles hit off the wall, and I thought for sure when it left the bat it was gone. So you put it all together, and as we said, had himself a pretty good weekend. The average holding solid in the 270s, and the home run total well in the double-figure mark. Leading the team in RBIs. You put it all together, as we said, good road trip in his home backyard. And as far as the games, well, they ended up a 2-2 split. And Scranton Wilkes-Barre took care of that with a 4-3 win yesterday. So we will see. But Kanzler looking pretty good and still feeling real upbeat. When I talked to him, still holding out hope that he's going to get a call-up before September, that the Orioles may give him the break he needs sometime after the All-Star break. All we could do is sit back and hope. I'll tell you this, the Orioles on the big level are starting to reel a little bit, so maybe, just maybe, we'll wait and see. Other minor league scores to tell you about: the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs got outslugged by Columbus, 8-7, the final there. Iron Pigs on the short end of things. Now, both the Tide and the Rail Riders are off until tomorrow. The Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs finished their series with Columbus today. And in the major leagues, the Tampa Bay Rays, after the 2-2 split in New York, they go home. They take on the Toronto Blue Jays, who all they've done is won 11 games in a row. How about everybody in the American League East above 500 mark with 1 week to go in the month of June? Amazing. Phils head out to the left coast. They'll start a series in San Diego after getting shut out yesterday by Matt Harvey and the New York Metropolitans. A little bit closer to home, the Strikes and Stripes Hazleton Area Legion team split a double dip yesterday with Tunkhannock. That was played here at the Pagnotti Field. In the first game, Robbie John came up with the big base hit, and they got outstanding pitching. Stripes and Strikes wins that one, 1-0. They lose by a run in the second game, although a lot more scoring. 5-4, Tunkhannock the winner there. Kyle Rogers with a couple of big base hits for the Stripes and Stripes team. Let's go to the National Hockey League. The last of the winter sports starting to wind its way down, and the Chicago Blackhawks have a leg up in the series thanks to this win yesterday. It was a hard-fought contest, defensive struggle as all of these games have been. This one didn't go into overtime because 3 of them have, but it would be the Blackhawks prevailing 3-1 over the Bruins. So the Blackhawks looking real sharp, that's to say the least. We'll see as that series comes down to the home stretch. Tonight's sports is brought to you by Mountain Speedway. Here's a look at this weekend's action. It's going to be busy. The pits, well, 2 o'clock going to open up, and the grandstand at 5. Practices are going to start at 4, and the racing will begin at 6. So plenty of action this Saturday, and it's well worth it. Hey, grandstand admission only $10. Kids 10 and under are free, and if you're an active military or a student, even senior discount, $2 off the price of admission. There's the website and the phone numbers. You could call them and get all the information on the excitement of racing down at Mountain Speedway.
Would you believe this is the last Monday in June, and would you believe that the greatest draft in NBA history took place exactly 10 years ago? Hi, everybody, and welcome to Trivia Treats. That's right. Exactly 1 decade ago, in 2003, Commish David Stern spoke these words into the mic. With the first pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select forward LeBron James from St. Vincent St. Mary's High School in Akron, Ohio. Draft pick number 3 was forward Carmelo Anthony by the Denver Nuggets out of Syracuse University. With the 4th choice, the Toronto Raptors took forward Chris Bosh of Georgia Tech. Wow. The Miami Heat chose 5th and drafted guard Dwayne Wade from Marquette University. 4 of the first 5 became NBA All-Stars and 2008 Olympic gold medalists. But what about the number 2 pick? The Detroit Pistons picked Darko Milicic, a 7-footer from Serbia. Mother of God. He did play in the NBA up until last year for a number of teams. Certainly not a household name, but he will stay alive on the biggest NBA bust list for quite a while as a number 2 pick. Now let's switch to baseball. 54 years ago tomorrow, in 1959, 12 years after the debut of Jackie Robinson, the last Major League game featuring entirely Caucasian rosters took place at Briggs Stadium in Detroit, with the Tigers defeating the Red Sox 10-5. The Tigers had integrated in 1958 with the addition of Ozzie Virgil, the first Dominican Republic-born player to reach the majors. However, Virgil spent the entire 1959 season in the minors. The Red Sox integrated for the first time on July 21st, 1959, with the addition of infielder Pumsey Green. Finally, on this very day, June 24th, 1962, exactly 50 years ago, the Yankees outlasted the Tigers 9-7 in 22 innings at Tiger Stadium in Detroit. After 6 innings, the score was 7-7. Neither team scored for the next 15 consecutive innings. Jack Reed, who became the 3rd New York right fielder used in the game after entering the 13th inning, smacked a 2-run homer in the 22nd to win it. Detroit left fielder Rocky Colavito collected 7 hits in 10 at-bats that day. Jack Reed's dinger turned out to be the only homer he ever hit in his 3-year career. Till Friday, be a good sport. Stay loose.
And plenty more news and information headed your way on News 13. More on that weekend blaze in Schuylkill County. 1 little girl has died. That story and much more news when the 13 crew comes right back.